think since his name is Keroro, like I don't think that's a Chinese name. I think he's like he just likes Japanese stuff. So I guess we'll call him Keroro just because like that's the name on the screen. It might be confusing if we call him Sukipan the entire time.
Sukipan just reminds me of like the song Pon Pon, and then I can't get it out of my head. So back to things that actually matter. Here we go. Dirtyhands versus Keroro, and of course the CL from. Is that Team Celestial?
Yep, that is Team Celestial. So, yeah, I think he qualified. I don't think he was invited. I think that would be kind of bad if you invited your own players. So, I do believe.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen in tournaments before.
Archon. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I think MengWang and Choli were the ones who were invited. And we have a warrior versus warrior again. What kind of warrior are we going to see now? Alright, so at least from Keroro we have the patron warrior. We will see what we get from Dirtyhands. Mulligan's away the fireworks? Yeah, Mulligan's away the fireworks. Interesting.
That's a little weird.
I guess you don't need it against a warrior. Alright, so patron versus patron. Yeah, you just want to mulligan everything for the... Like if you get Despite, patron and enrage, you just win the game. So probably just mulligan everything for that. Obviously, your opponent could play Acolyte and you can kill it with the fireworks, but you'd rather have a higher chance of getting your own combo than denying your opponent maybe one draw with the Acolyte. And he's probably not going to be coining into Acolyte either, so even if you Acolyte, if you get the Despite, you can take it out. So I can definitely see the reasoning behind it.
Alright, so yeah, the reasoning definitely there, and I guess
picks up the enrage, just needs a patron.
It's possible. I mean, that's sort of the dream, especially in patron matches. So goes for the armor up instead of playing the armor smith.
Yeah, this is the Kit Kat's rule. You don't play armor smith unless you have a way to deal with Acolyte. So if we had a coin Acolyte come out here, then Keroro would be in a little bit of trouble. And obviously doesn't want to use enrage on his armor smith to take out the Acolyte. Wants to save that for a potential patron and a game win.
All right, well, it's coming up here in just a couple of turns. Turn 4, you play the Despite. Turn 5, you win the game, possibly, if he draws into patron. And he does have 2 turns to do it.
Yeah, and the player going first is the one who's able to get the patrons out on turn 5 first. Obviously, you can't do it as the you can't do it on turn 4 using the coin as the person going second, because you'd have to have the Despite in hand already, which means if you'd have to coin on turn 3 to have it the turn before, then you don't have the coin obviously. So it's actually impossible to do that. And so you see, obviously you see that is in fact the reasoning for Keroro doing that play, because now he plays it out. Now that he has the Despite to take care of the Acolyte, and it's going to be coin Despite to take care of it on the side of Dirtyhands. A little bit of a rash decision, honestly, for my taste, because there's no real reason to be coining a Despite to take out the armor smith. It's not really that much of a threat. And the patron in hand.
Yeah,
sorry,
patron.
You probably noticed that before I was sucking. Okay, this game might be over, guys.
Yeah, just a little bit over, and I'm trying to look in his hand to see if there's any way to deal with this, and it looks like the answer is, unfortunately, no. He does have a whirlwind of his own. That doesn't help. He's got Inner Rage. That doesn't help. He's got Unstable Ghoul. That really doesn't help.
That hurts more than helps. That gives him 6 patrons, so... yeah, it does.
Gosh.
So, and not only that, but he used the coin on the Despite, so he's 2 turns away from the Emperor. From like maybe if he picked up, you know, Frothing and.
To be fair, though, he does have Brawl in his hands, so Dirtyhands can still deal with it.
He does have the Brawl. Oops, my bad. I totally wasn't even looking at that card. Anyway, so he does have a way to deal with it, and the game isn't actually over. Sorry about that.
I mean, it's still a 20% chance to have the Acolyte live. So.
No, he's gonna kill the Acolyte right now.
Well, no, to have the.
No, but whatever lives, he can kill it with the Despite. So actually, I'm sorry for calling the game over. It's actually almost over in the side of Dirtyhands, to be fair, because he's gonna Brawl here, and then the next turn he's gonna go Patron, Inner Rage, Whirlwind, and then Keroro can't deal with that. So I'm sorry we called it for the wrong player. Dirtyhands actually wins this game.
Man, Brawl's a good card, and with the ability to kill it with Deathbite here, I was gonna say he might have Deathbite for like a full, like, what is that, 8 patrons, just flood the board with them. But this is where Dirtyhands draws Brawl and brawls it back to his favor, D2.
You mean Keroro?
No, Dirty Hands. If he draws the brawl,
You know, Dirtyhands is the one who just played the brawl.
Oh yeah, Keroro. Okay, I have them on. I'm thinking opposite sides today.
Yeah, so
it's because like on Dirty Hand's side they lowered his name and his portrait, so it automatically.
It looks like it's on the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually going to go for the Thoros, and I don't really agree with this play, because you're probably going to want to get patrons out like next turn regardless. Like you want to get your patrons out as fast as possible, or else your opponent plays his Thoros in, and is able to OTK you later on, right? Like you want to get the patrons out as fast as possible, basically. And although to be fair, he's already seen his opponent propagate patrons, so he's not going to be able. His opponent isn't going to be able to do his first most of the time. But in any case, we're going to see that right now, and I still don't see the reason for the patron though, or for the Thorson, excuse me, because he didn't really accomplish anything, and I guess he's going to be able to battle rage. I suppose he can battle rage. That is something that you can do, but I feel like he could have done that regardless.
I mean, it seems like a fairly safe play. So he's going to get 3 cards off of that Inner Rage. I always love these crazy like patron Inner Rage combos because it's just like, let me play down my hand size and then draw like 4 or 5 cards back. It's just like, go for it. Yeah, that's a good thing to be able to do. So now we get to see the unfortunate lack of a brawl in Keroro's hand. So this is what happens when you leave 4 patrons on the board. This is
well, it's not like he left 4 patrons on the board. It just kind of happened. But yeah. So I mean, obviously, I don't know if you missed it, but I missed the brawl in the hand. Didn't catch it for some reason, but. Our first call was incorrect, but our second call is definitely correct. That once we saw the brawl and we saw the ability to spawn patrons, yeah, this is almost certainly going to be Dirty Hands' game unless Keroro somehow finds a way to draw both Warsong and Thorson and have the time to get that OTK off. Sorry, we have a little bit of lag. The screen is freezing for me at the moment. Is it for you?
Yeah, it's actually completely still for me too, so hopefully that'll come back.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go ahead and drop a quick refresh, and it's back.
Alright, so, yeah, looks like we just saw the execute into killing one of those guys off. He does have to propagate one of the patrons, but it's still kind of a similar situation, and he does pick up that Thorson, and he has a double frothing plus Warsong, so... Maybe we called it too early again. This actually might go to Keroro. No, he actually might win it now. And if he doesn't,
it's only 26 health too. It's going to be 28 if he chooses to armor up this turn. Okay, just kidding. He's got shield block, so it's still a lot of health to get through.
But
with double frothing,
that's double
anything
frothing.
Is possible.
I think Keroro wins his game. Honestly.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how this goes. After the Thorson, that's going to cost, let's see, it goes from 9 to 6 mana. He does have a Whirlwind.
He even has the patron. So if he can manage to get to 10 mana, he can go Warsong double frothing Whirlwind plus the patron. Actually, he probably needs 1 more Whirlwind, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say he needs at least 1 more Whirlwind. To be fair, though, that 1 Whirlwind will be pretty huge with a bunch of patrons out on his opponent's side of the field. The downside is that most likely if he doesn't win it here, he won't be winning it at all.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Keroro. I wonder if he's done the math already. So on the board is 15 damage. So can you YOLO it and just hope that he doesn't have 2 more damage? It would only take 1 Inner Rage to die if you don't armor up here. Is he going to armor is the question. Looks like he is going to armor, yeah. It's too dangerous to die to 1 armor up. But he will die to a top deck Warsong here. We will see if he can pick it up. Nope, that's going to be Armor Smith. He could play double Armor Smith. That could be something that could prevent some of this frothing nonsense. Ooh, we have a disconnect. Alright. Okay, well, I'm just going to hang up on him and maybe he can call me back when he's ready. In any case, we do see the double armor, double armor set onto the board. Gonna take care of this this Thorson by using a couple of his Grim Patron's definitely aware of the possibility of reverse all kill, but by doing this, he's not putting that much pressure onto his opponent. So maybe Keroro has another turn here potentially. No, that's a lot of damage. Okay, I forgot I didn't see that he had an attack with the Patron yet. So yeah, he's at 10 health, and there is 13 damage on the board. Actually, that shield block might do something. If he wasn't dead last turn, then he's probably not dead this coming turn. Maybe he can hold off and try to shield block and just fire Warrocks the face this turn, because I don't believe he has lethal right now, especially with the those armor sets in play. Looks like he doesn't go for it regardless. No, I can't see this being lethal with only one whirlwind. Me? Well, I guess he's gonna go for it. I might be wrong. We will see. I suppose he can start propagating patrons on these armor smiths. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's gonna do. Makes a bit of sense. And he's gonna get, yeah. Each time he hits hits the patron into these armor smiths, he gets, or excuse me, Keroro gets another 4 damage total on his frothing berserkers. So it could be a lot, or it could be enough. We'll see. Gonna go and hit that. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. It's gonna take a long time for this to do though. He has his hand on his head because it's taking forever. Yeah, he might actually have lethal, but he didn't do it fast enough. Yeah, it looks like he roped out and didn't get it. He might have actually had it though with that sequencing. These frothings are obviously getting pretty huge, and he had even more damage available with him with these patrons on the board. So actually, really nice sequencing there. Really nice play there by Keroro, but wasn't able to get off the... Oh, so close. He actually, I'm pretty sure he had lethal if he hit... Yeah, if he did his turn right away, because if he hit the patron into the war song, or not the war song, the armor smith. Oh, maybe he didn't have it actually, because if he hit it, he would have gotten 1 armor, but he would have gotten 4 extra from his guys. So it would have been down up to 8, but then down to 4. And then I think he was 1 off of lethal, even with perfect sequencing. So yeah, still a bit unfortunate there. But yeah, I think he would have been better off, honestly, going with the shield block and then using the fiery Warrocks onto the face instead of doing that play. It would have been, and by the time he started his play, he started it pretty slow, especially because there were so many animations to get through with patrons on both sides spawning. So I think once he didn't go right away, he was better off just trying to live 1 more turn and going with the shield block. But definitely once he went for the play, it was really good sequencing on his part. Almost got it off. In any case, I'm going to see if Raid's back here. Or Rapid, excuse me. As for this game, it's going to be a token paladin using those silver hand regents and those Murloc knights, and gonna have to deal with this zoo, or this demon zoo coming from Dirtyhands. He does have that Direwolf Alpha teched into his deck, which not everyone has. On the side of Keroro, he's wondering what to do, wondering if it's a good idea to play out the Snipe Juggler. Looks like he's going to go for it. Gonna get slightly punished by this Direwolf Alpha, but not the worst situation in the world. Can't really imagine any other play, because otherwise this Void Caller gets shut down, or excuse me, Void Walker. And Keroro could play the Owl this coming turn to challenge the Direwolf Alpha, but really don't want to be using Direwolf Alpha, or excuse me, the Owl in this fashion. Because there's so many things in the zoo that you want to silence. So we might see the Knife Juggler just come out here to challenge the Direwolf Alpha, even though you really want to... Sometimes you want to keep Knife Juggler for later, but I really don't think he can afford it right now. Dude doesn't do a whole lot. And yeah, he might fall too far behind. Probably just best to throw this 2-drop out, trade with his opponent's 2-drop, and then from there he can maybe Aldor or do something of the like. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think this is a Knife Juggler play. I feel like Owl's more useful in this matchup than Knife Juggler is. Obviously, there's stuff like Knife Juggler and Muster for Battle that you can use, but it's not ridiculous to the degree of something like, Knife Juggler Unleash. So, yeah, it's probably best to play this out, make the trade. In fact, his opponent will probably trade into him for him, so we're probably going to save 2 damage here. Okay, Rapid saying that probably, or he's saying he's not sure my connection is going to hold up. I'm going to pass that's okay with you. Alright, so it looks like we're solo casting until we can potentially find another caster. As expected, the Direwolf Alpha goes into the Knife Juggler, and we have a bit of a decision here by Keroro. He has the Owl, he has the Aldor, but the Aldor is much useful on something else. And, sorry about that, just talking too rapid for a second there. And, if he doesn't Owl or Aldor, like, I think it's better to just pass rather than play a dude, because you want to be True Silvering that guy next turn anyway. But, yeah, you want to be True Silvering that guy next turn anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to even make a dude, because it just makes it more stuff that you have to deal with. And I kind of like this Aldor play. It's kind of like a Strife Go play, right? You need to get the minion onto the field, even if it's not getting much value in his battle cry. So it definitely makes sense, and he can just True Silver off this guy next turn and then kill off the 1/1 with his Aldor if he so desires. And if Dirtyhands decides to run his guy into it, then it's whatever. He has a 1/1 that spawns a 1/1 and a 1/1, so it's like not that big of a deal. Keroro's hand's pretty horrible though. I mean, he has a True Silver, which is nice, but Harrison Jones trades pretty horribly. And the Quartermaster obviously is not going to get any value anytime soon. So the Void Color comes out. I'm not really sure why it took so long, honestly, on the side of Dirtyhands. Pretty obvious play in my opinion, especially when you have that Doom Guard. And we might see Keroro kind of YOLO it and kind of just kill the Void Collar right here. Quality comes in hand, which might be useful later, but not at the moment. I guess, nah, I mean, you can't really kill the Void Collar anyway. So, excuse me. Oh my god. Okay, probably gonna see a kill onto the in-game boss with the True Silver. Kill off the remainder. Oh, he's gonna YOLO it, okay. This might be a response to Dirtyhands taking so long with this turn, because normally if you go Void Collar, like typically if you have a Doom Guard in hand, like Void Collar is a pretty obvious play. So the fact that it took so long to do it maybe made Keroro feel like oh, he's just gonna get up. He's just like, I've had it. Maybe it made Keroro feel like he was he was trying to bluff it and he was just like thinking about it the entire time. In any case, that Owl's not gonna get much value right now. Interesting. So we have the Abusive Sergeant into the Egg, it looks like. Not going to put down that Knife Juggler. A little bit afraid of Consecrate, even though his Doom Guard survives. Kind of weird. But, yeah, this is where the Harrison Jones just kind of feels really bad, because it gets traded into by the 2/1, 1/1, and 1/1. It leaves 1/1 behind. The 5/7 still hitting you in the face. So, it looks like he's just going to go for the... yeah, he's deciding between the Owl and the Harrison, and neither of them feel very good. Yeah, let's go for the Quality and the Owl, and then just kill off this Doom Guard right away. Makes sense. Kind of making the best of a bad situation. But yeah, he has really nothing to do. I mean, he can play the Harrison next turn, but it's still pretty bad. Dirtyhands committing to tapping every turn rather than, overcommitting too much. But he is going to play that Knife Juggler and the Haunted Creeper, it looks like. Gets the snipe off. And Keroro is facing a lot of damage here. How much is that? That's 5, 7, 8 damage. He's at 15. And we don't know there's 2 more in Dirtyhands' hand. Yeah, Keroro looks like he's just gonna go over the Silverhand region and make 2 1/1s, which Technically, it's bigger than a Harrison, and it can trade into more things, but also more vulnerable to this Knife Juggler. What are we going to see at a Dirty Hand? He can play out his whole hand. He can maybe just defend or something. Play the oh, obviously it's to trade some stuff off. So we'll see. Maybe we see the Imp King boss just kind of trade itself out. Okay, looks like it's gonna tap. Makes sense. No, there's nothing to owl here anyway. Probably just gonna see the Flame Imp and the Defender Vargas here. But I think I might want to get some more information first. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Making the Knife Juggler bigger, the Knife Juggler and the Imp King boss bigger makes a bit of sense. So you get more value off both of these guys. And this is a super annoying board. You can't consecrate it. I mean, if you consecrate it, you get 3 knives in your face. And yeah, looks like this is going to be a game. There's absolutely no way. This Doctor Boom, too little, too late. It would be nice if you wasn't about to die. The Doctor Boom, that is, to be able to contest the board, but yeah, too much pressure from Dirty Hands, and didn't get the early game minions that Keroro needed. Things like mini bot, things like that muster for a battle. Owl just wasn't enough. Knife Juggler just didn't trade well enough, and when your 2-drop trades with the Zoo drops 1-drop, and your 2-drop trades with their 2-drop that doesn't really do a whole lot, then you're in trouble. So. Also, Keroro getting a little bit punished by taking a chance there with the Void Color. In any case, Dirty Hand is up 2-0 and only has his Druid left, but we have seen Druid get 3-0'd before, and this is a decent lineup for Keroro against it. Basically, all of his matchups are 50% or above, the Druid being the 50%. Paladin favors against Druid, and the Patron Warrior is about 50% as well. So. Keroro's still in this if you can make solid decisions. We see the Murloc Knight in hand. Not the best start. Murloc Knight obviously a very good card, but going first, you're not going to be able to get that out, obviously until turn 4. Fencing Coach is very nice, though. Even if he doesn't draw anything else. On the other hand, we do have the Darnassus Aspirant and the Innervate on the side of Dirty Hand, so Keroro going to be under a lot of pressure. It will be nice to be able to immediately get that Murloc off the Murloc Knight, but yeah, until then, he's going to be facing down a lot of stuff. Looks like it's going to be Innervate into the Druid Claw to protect the Darnassus, in which case he's going to be able to play Pilot Shredder next turn, and absolutely nothing that Keroro can do about this. So, Druid OP. What can I say? Second Murloc Knight comes in the hand. Not very useful at all. Obviously, Murloc Knight's nice, but you don't want 2. You want actually answers in this situation. Too many minions, not enough answers right now. Would like to see something like a Consecrate. Consecrate doesn't help too much, but you need some combination of cards to be able to come back here, like an Equality Consecrate, something of that ilk. We might see the Darnassus actually trade into this 2/2, just because you are going to be coming up in 4-man next turn, so maybe you can just Temple Keeper. You're not going to be able to throw us in anyway, and keeping this Druid of the Claw alive against a 2 silver is nice as well. But looks like he's going to trade into it. Doesn't really care too much if it gets 2 silver because he would be applying a lot of damage anyway. Oh, and the Muster for Battle comes 1 turn too late. It would have been really nice last turn. Well, wouldn't have been that nice, but it would have had something on the board and would have made Dirty Hands respond to a potential Quartermaster. So Dirty Hands might have been on cleanup duty instead of playing out his Shredder. Living Roots comes into the hand. Wonder how he gets rid of this Murloc Knight. Maybe trade the 4/2 in. Makes the rest of his board a little bit vulnerable, but I think he's kind of fine with that. The Shredder, having it as an annoying body is kind of nice. Once you get rid of it, makes everything easier to consecrate or something like that. There hasn't been a time that Keroro really wanted to consecrate, so it's not like Dirty Hands knows or doesn't know that he has it in his hand. As far as the rest of his turn, I suppose I could just use the Wrath and Hero Power. But you probably don't play the Entangling Roots at that point. I guess what you could do is Wrath for 1 Entangling Roots, and then Hero Power onto the Murloc Knight, and then kill the 1/1 with your 2/2. That way you draw a card. You're a little on cards in anyway. Okay, it looks like he's just gonna clear this out. Yeah, I think I like the play that just came up there the most. I mean, Hero Powering on turn 5, or turn 4, but with 5 mana isn't the best situation to be in. Jessica 2-Heart comes in hand. Looks like it's going to be Muster for Battle. No, just kidding. I mean, I think you just take a chance here and hope your opponent doesn't have swipe in this situation. Play the Muster for Battle, but make your opponent kind of respond to this if he doesn't have, if he doesn't have the swipe, and just make it super annoying. You do have the heal bot, so you can kind of afford to just smack your face into Darnassus. So next turn he does have the Murloc Knight plus Dude. I imagine that would be the play over something like Justicar. Maybe he goes for Defender Vargas Dude. If he's feeling really under pressure, he probably heal bots, but I kind of doubt it at this point. So Dirty Hands, wondering what to go with here. Looking at that Wrath, he's obviously afraid of Quartermaster here. So, but nope, it's gonna go with the Emperor. I mean, even with it makes sense, right? Even with Quartermaster, this board's kind of hard to deal with. But he's gonna trade 2 of them off just in case, and really good kind of semi buff there by QiuRi. And probably gonna see the Murloc Knight. I mean, he could Defender to kill off the Emperor, but I mean, so much effort to do so. That said, the Emperor got almost no value. I mean, you're getting a cheaper Wild Growth, which is okay on turn 10. The Wrath is okay. I mean, it's nice utility to have it for 1 mana. The Keeper being cheaper for the extra silence is nice too, but nothing like, there's no combo parts in there. There's no you know, big minions that are really going to swing the tempo super far. So not pretty good for QiuRi. He doesn't know it yet. Obviously, he's a little bit scared of what might be out there. He's thinking of whether he should kill this Thaurissan, because if you don't kill the Thaurissan, and they get double discounted combo parts, then you can just die from anything. He can just double combo you to death. So yeah, really tough decision for QiuRi. Really wondering whether he should go for this Defender or go for the Murloc Knight. But looks like he's leaning toward that Defender. It's gonna put him a bit behind if Dirty Hands can if Dirty Hands has some sort of 5 or 6 drop or even 7 drop with the discounted Dr. Boom, but doesn't have it in hand yet. Let's see if he picks it up. Gets a Yeti. Yeti's pretty good here. He's gonna Wrath for 1 first though. Interesting. Gonna Wrath for 1, then Yeti. And then he's hovering over the Living Roots, but that doesn't do anything at all really. I guess it puts more pressure onto the board. But yeah, QiuRi pretty low there. That's why I didn't really super like the play. I mean, obviously it's really scary to leave the Thaurissan up. But, I mean, you kind of have to hope that your opponent didn't get anything good in the situation, because if you don't put any pressure on the board, like, this 2/3, you have to trade into the into the Shredder here. And your opponent knows that, so yeah, it's just not the best situation. He probably has to heal bot here because you're dead to so many things. I mean, right now the opponent, if nothing dies, which I mean it probably will, but okay, after this dies we can start counting. So 6, 12, 14, 15. So his opponent has 15 damage in hand right now. Probably gonna have to heal bot. I mean, he's already dead to combo. He doesn't know what's discounted in his opponent's hand. Looks like he's reaching for the muster. See, this is kind of inconsistent. I do like QiuRi's play most of the time, but this is pretty inconsistent, honestly. Oh, I guess he's going to choose over, but I think he's still dead. Yeah, he's still dead. He's going to stay at 11 health, and his opponent has Force Nature Hero Power. So that's unfortunately going to be it. I do like QiuRi's play, otherwise known as Sukipan, but that's going to be game, and Dirty Hands is going to take this series 3 games to 0. Bit of an uneven play there by QiuRi at the end, but you can't really blame him. He was under so much pressure. It's hard to make the right play there. From the bird's eye view, we know that Murloc Knight was the play, but can't fault him that much. I think he played pretty well in the other games, and here we go.
MengWang狗神.
Yeah, MengWang. There we go. So MengWang versus QiuRi. QiuRi being the pro qualifier, whereas MengWang was the open qualifier. And as we mentioned before, or we being Rapid and I when he was on the cast, they have to use all 9 decks throughout this tournament. So they cannot use any of the decks that they won with in their first round match. That's why we see some different decks here. Paladin, Rogue, and Warrior from QiuRi, and the Hunter, Rogue, and Priest coming out from MengWang. And starting off, we have the Patron Warrior going off against Dragon Priest. And in the first round, we saw what's going on? That's not me, guys. That's not my thing lagging. That's them. That's their production. So I guess we just had the heal from MengWang. Didn't want to commit to coining out the Blackwing Technician, even though he could have potentially gone with the Valence Chosen. I guess he doesn't want to get that executed too quickly, which we're putting a lot of effort into it. I'm just going to go with it now, and probably going to see the Twilight Guardian next turn, followed by the Blackwing Corruptor. But in any case, we saw this in the first round, and basically what this comes down to is that if given time, Patron can just OTK really quickly. But yeah, the Priest, sometimes they can put on early pressure and force out the removal and make it difficult for the Control Warrior. Shadow Madness is not something we always see in this Dragon Priest. Sometimes you don't have the room to put it in. In any case, we saw MengWang kind of react adversely there to the double Battle Rage of QiuRi. Always feels bad when your opponent draws 4 cards in the same turn for just 4 mana. But looks like he's gonna go ahead and heal this and kill off the Armor Smith. I would like to see just the Twilight Guardian come out. I mean, this is basically his entire turn, right? It's just heal that up and let it die. He's basically gaining nothing because his opponent can clear this off with his Fiery War Axe. Like, if he had the Twilight Guardian versus Twilight Guardian and a 3/1 Blackwing Technician against a 1/1 Armor Smith and a Fiery War Axe, that'd be, like, basically, I don't know why he needs to play it slow, is what I'm trying to get at. You need to be putting a lot of pressure on. And QiuRi actually, I think, yeah, QiuRi was the one who actually played the Dragon Priest against Patron Warrior earlier, and he showed really, really good control, or really good decision making in that matchup, really favoring tempo over value in that situation. And I think that's definitely what MengWang should be doing here, rather than going for trying to go for all the value play. Here he could Shadow Pain that to prevent a draw and maybe coin into the Twilight Guardian. He's also thinking about the Blackwing Corruptor. Both are decent plays here. But yeah, denying the draw is pretty good here. It's basically 1-for-1. That's a nice thing about things like Execute or Shadow Word Pain, is that you can deny the draw with your spell, but also don't give him the card at all. Like if you use Wrath, obviously it gives him the card, so you're basically 2-for-1ing yourself in that situation, which always feels bad. But in this case, it's basically just a 1-for-1, trading the Shadow Word Pain for that Acolyte of Pain. And gets his Twilight Guardian onto the field. So, starting to like his play a little bit more here. Hope to see more of it instead of, being too value oriented. If you get the opponent, I mean, if you just give the patron too much time, you really shouldn't be worrying about your minions surviving for forever, because that just gives the patron more time, and eventually they're going to be able to deal with it. But if you give them no time, then it's going to be difficult. Looks like QiuRi just wants to kind of keep the pressure on his opponent. Going to use the Execute there. He knows that there's better Execute targets later, but by executing there, it kind of puts the priest on the back end and kind of makes him play a little bit defensive, which is what the patron warrior wants. Like by executing there, it's like he basically execute, like the hidden text there is like draw a card on the execute, because it basically gives him more time to set up in the future. That's what's nice about that play right there. He has the option to propagate patrons, but not going to make the same make that Chiang did in the first round. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe. He does have time right now, as we mentioned earlier. We might see him switch to the Despite here and just kind of, yeah, he's going to switch to the Despite. Favors keeping the board control with that Gnomish Inventor. Obviously knows that his opponent doesn't have any sort of Cabal in hand, so going to keep putting the pressure on with that minion. But going to be met with that immediate Harrison Jones, which is pretty painful to deal with right now. On the side of YMfuoliver, he has a lot of combo pieces, but not a whole lot of anything else. So yeah, it looks like he's just gonna go ahead and play out this Thoris. And if you're only doing 30 damage, you don't actually need that many combo pieces. The War Song and Patron with the double Whirlwind should be fine as long as you pick up one Frothing Berserker. You should be able to do 30 damage here. So that's what he's going for here. So yeah, MengWang, he has to be careful here and just kind of, yeah, probably play out this Twilight Guardian just to put some defense up. He's already seen one execute. Not likely that YMfuoliver has another execute, especially if he has those combo pieces in hand. Since you just saw the Emperor go down. So yeah, definitely a good play here. Just playing out that taunt, putting the powered shield on it, and this is why this deck is actually much better these days than in the past, because you didn't have something like this Twilight Guardian to be able to aid you in this situation. Now, YMfuoliver can't actually kill him unless he does get the Frothing Berserker, so he's kind of like contemplating whether or not he should play out this this Despite. If he top decks the Warsong Commander, then he just wins the game, or not Warsong Commander, the Frothing Berserker, he just wins the game. So that's what he's thinking about a little bit. On the other hand, if he doesn't, then it just doesn't get anything done because it just gets healed up by MengWang, and potentially even Valence Chosen. Okay, so he sees the Frothing, so he knows that there's at most one Frothing in YMfuoliver's hand. There's not double Frothing. So MengWang has a little bit of information there. Basically, he's starting to realize that, okay, my opponent's probably looking for a Frothing here, so that's probably why he hasn't played out his huge combo yet. But in any case, YMfuoliver is taking a lot of damage, under a lot of pressure. Unless his opponent has Holy Fire, he's probably not being dead next turn, although we see in the hand that MengWang does actually have lethal with the Valence Chosen and the Holy Nova there. How much damage is that out of hand? So 2 extra from the Valence Chosen and an extra. And anyway, in any case, looks like we're gonna go for it. YMfuoliver under too much pressure. Gonna probably clear this board, and this might actually be the game for MengWang because it's not gonna be lethal for YMfuoliver, and MengWang, he's gonna use most of his resources here. So MengWang just might light bomb this and just win the game from there. Brawls are one of the worst pickups that you could possibly get, if not the worst. So yeah, just gonna probably run this Acolyte in, rest of face, and yeah, gonna be almost certainly a light bomb coming out here. You could actually do something like Whelp Valence Chosen and then Holy Nova. You might actually do that actually. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The benefit of doing that is that you kill off the Armorsmith, but it doesn't really. Okay, it looks like he's just gonna go for the Taskmaster light bomb play and then heal himself. He should be fine after this. He's seen all but 2 of the discounted cards, which means unlikely that his opponent's going to be able to do anything crazy from now on. Wait, what? Oh, he's going to go for the same play I mentioned. It's just going to be, yeah, with the Cool Taskmaster instead of the Twilight Whelp. I guess that's fine. Yeah, he didn't have any dragons in hand, so I guess the Twilight Whelp would have been a 2-1. This is a 2-2, so it's a little bit better. It's a Spiteful Smith on the field, or a Spectral Knight without the invulnerability. So yeah, this game is pretty much over. There's not going to be the opportunity for YMfuoliver. Well, Maybe if he draws 2 Frothing Berserkers and a War Song, and he goes War Song, Frothing, plus Ghoul. No, he can't War Song, Frothing, Ghoul. He can go War Song, Frothing, and then double Whirlwind. So really the only way for FullOliver to win this game from here on out is for MengWang to overpopulate the board, and then FullOliver goes War Song, Frothing, double Whirlwind. Hopefully MengWang doesn't make that mistake though. Looks like he's gonna, yeah, looks like he's, yeah, continuing to heal his minions up so they don't get executed. I think he'd be fine playing with healing his face though. Brawl's gonna get some value here. MengWang is kind of praying. Normally he's praying 4. All of his minions are kind of decent here. Except for that one, really. Except for that one. So you can't be too happy about that one. Another thing that I kind of missed earlier, as the reason why I didn't play the Twilight Whelp is because it activates the Blackwing Corruptor. Gets Pale Trist here, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. We're actually going to see Pale Trist do some work for the first time in basically ever. What legendary do we get off of this? It's going to be... He falls back. Oh my god, the Baron Geddon. Not Baron Geddon, sorry. Oh my god, I can't remember the name. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. You forget names, okay, when this happens. You forget names when you start casting. I don't know why. It's like the caster's curse. God, I know what it does, obviously. This, the battle cries, or sorry, the death rolls go out twice. In any case. So yeah, Ysera's gonna come out here. This is probably gonna lock it up. There's nothing really that the that FullOliver can do. Well, there are a few minions on the board. Let's see how much damage would that be. He only has to do 19 damage, which is not that much. So say if he top decks the War Song here, how much damage is that? 3 whirlwinds and 5 minions on the board. 6 minions on the board for the first 2. So actually that might be lethal. Oh my god, that is lethal, isn't it? So 6, 12, 18 just from the 6, 12, and then plus the 2 is going to be 14. Then run the guy into 14. That is lethal. It's lethal, right? I'm pretty sure. Wait, 6, 12, and then from the 5, and then the 5, he gets from the other guy. Yeah, that's almost 100% lethal. No, what is he doing? Wait, what? Didn't he have lethal? I'm pretty sure. Because he had 6 each, right? 6 from each whirlwind? I'm not crazy, am I? He had 6 from the first 2 whirlwinds, so he goes 8, and then he goes to 14, and then he runs the Unstable Ghoul in. I'm not crazy, am I? That was lethal. Like, easily lethal. Now he's mad because he didn't get the attacks off. But, wait, what? Maybe, no, he didn't get the attacks off. Maybe he just realized that it was lethal. Light Bomb coming. That was, like, one of the easier lethals, honestly. Like, he was, like, a few over. I mean, it was easy as far as, like, doing the calculations. All you do is, like, basically count 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 5. Okay, that was bizarre. I was actually calling from MengWang, and then FullOliver topped like the exact perfect card, and then he missed lethal. Okay then. MengWang wins game 1. That was bizarre. Huh. I can't even believe that happened. Baron Riven there. Thank you very much, chat, for helping me with that. The good old shame conceit. I wonder if he actually noticed it after he did it. He's like, wait a second. I had so much damage with this frothing. Huh. That was that's awkward. Actually, didn't he have 12 damage just with the? No, he had 18 damage with the patrons as well. So like even if he went the patron route, if he just went whirlwind, and then the other guy in, then no, wait. I don't think he had 6 on the board, I don't think. Anyway. Okay, no more worrying about that last game. It's going to be Mid-Range Hunter versus the Patron Warrior. Definitely favor for the Patron Warrior. Basically, I said this a billion times before. Basically what happens is that mid-range takes too long to go to Patron, and then the Patron gets the Patrons out, and then the Mid-Range Hunter can't deal with it. Sometimes the Patron just gets a horrible hand, and the Mid-Range gets enough damage off, but that's not usually the case. Alright, Animal Companion, otherwise known as Summon a Random Huffer. And we see the Frothing Berserker played out so that I can get 1 extra damage. All standard stuff so far. Side of MengWang, he's going to play out this Owl. He's going to play the Owl, might as well play the Night Juggler, right? I think. Although it just dies to that guy. Yeah, I guess you just play the Owl and the Web Spinner that you got off the Web Spinner. Save the Night Juggler for Night Juggler Unleash. In case we see some patrons out, maybe we can get some extra damage in. Your opponent is down to 20, so... yeah, but YMfuoliver, the Buzzard Unleashed combo, it's back. It's back. Oh my god. Looks like he's gonna go face here. It makes a bit of sense. But clearing off makes more sense in my opinion. Yeah, a little bit too early to be going face here. He's not quite low enough. And if you clear right now, you can probably get more damage to face by giving yourself a little more time. Especially with that Buzzard in hand. You probably want to get actually some value out of that Buzzard, honestly. Maybe go Buzzard Web Spinner this next turn, or maybe just wait till turn 8 and go Buzzard Unleash. The old school Buzzard Unleash. Yeah, it's probably going to be that play at that moment. Just going to Shredder here, and a Hero Power, and yeah, just pass. Basically, don't clear anything because you want to get the Buzzard Unleash combo off. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been so long, guys. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually a really cool play because if it's a 3-2, then the No Mission Venture can kill it, and if it's a 2-3, then it can't deal with the 3-3 Patron. Although if it's a 2-3, then it can... Well, if it's a 2-3, you can hit the 3-2. So... What if you go Knife Juggler, Unleash, and then spawn Patrons, and you go Buzzard Unleash and draw a bunch of cards? That... Or is that just too next level? Look, there's like a smirk on MengWang's face. Maybe... I think he's thinking about that. He's like, what if I do that? What if I just actually do that? Looks like he's gonna hit that, and then, No, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Make him... Dude... What? Make him propagate his own patrons, and then you Buzzard Unleash and draw all of your deck. I don't even know what this does, honestly. You kill the 1/1. You kill the Buzzard with your face. I mean, this gets punished by so many things. This gets punished by War Song Commander. This gets punished by a weapon. This gets punished by any sort of way to deal 2 damage. Yeah. I don't know. With this Armor Smith on the field, I don't see any way that YMfuoliver can lose this game. I think we might even see an Inner Rage onto this Patron. I think I would like to see an Inner Rage on the Patron. Interesting, we see a Sludge Belcher coming out. Sludge Belcher would be pretty bad for MengWang because it would just spawn 2 more Patrons. He would simply just hit it with his Death Bite, and then would spawn 1 Patron, and the 3-2 would run into the 1-2, and then he'd have 2 3-3s, a 3-1, and an Armor Smith that got a bunch of armor. So yeah. Sludge Belcher probably not the play. He's thinking maybe about going Knife Juggler double Unleash. Animal Companion, I don't really know what that does. Maybe he gets a Huffer. Misha's okay, but again, it just spawns more patrons. And now he plays the Sludge Belcher. But this is going to get cleared up exactly the way it was before, except that now he has a target to run his patron into. So yeah, and now he has the Warslung. So yeah, this game is over. He's going to do that. Hit the 3-1 to the Misha. Run his face into the Sludge Belcher. Oh, he's going to play an Acolyte too. Okay, sure. Get more armor. That's fine. Might as well. Do that. He's going to gain 4 armor this way. Going to gain 1 more armor by running the 3-2, or maybe he runs the 3-3 into it. I'm not sure. Doesn't really make much difference. He's going to run, yeah. Oh, he's going to hit the Acolyte first, so it gets even more armor. Going to run the 3-3 into it, or 3-2 into it, most likely. It's just kind of Whirlwind. Okay, sure, that works too. Get 5 more armor. 5 more armor, the boulder's full, and the game is over. Knife Juggler Unleashed does nothing. It just unless it like 1 in 49 double snipes off the armor smith. But even then, you don't have enough damage to kill him. Or actually, not 149, 1 in 36. He had to no, it is 149. Yeah, he'd have to 1 in 49 double snipe off, or he could just do the 100's mark. But he still have to 1 in 7 it. Otherwise, he's getting even more armor. And he's about to die, so he needs to clear the board. He can't actually win this turn. Yeah, the game's over. Game number 2 goes to YMfuoliver after missing lethal last game. He's gonna have it. Yeah, there's no way to have lethal here. I guess he's trying to fill the board too much. I mean, but then doesn't really matter. He's gonna fill the board and then try to clear this way. I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, can you clear? At this point, wouldn't you Knife Juggler Unleash though? Like, you get 1 less Hound, but you start throwing knives, and then like the knives don't. When the patrons die, the board size doesn't lessen, so you don't actually. Okay, looks like he's gonna live, maybe. Yeah, the board size doesn't actually lessen, for those of you who are wondering. Like, for that last set of patrons, he should have just, and then he concedes. Okay. I guess he tried. But yeah, for the last set of patrons, he should have gotten Knife Juggler Unleashed, because he would have gotten a bunch more knives. And the patrons don't go away when they die, so you can't. The patrons don't go away. You don't spawn more patrons. You don't spawn more patrons in their place. It's kind of like an AoE. It's weird that way. It's kind of like the Knife Juggler just throws out 6 knives, kind of AoE style. So yeah, that would have been the better play, because it wouldn't have made any difference. I mean, you would have gotten for having 1 less dog, you get 6 knives randomly thrown out, and your opponent's board is already full, so it's not like you're gonna be. I mean, you can probably like 100's mark the last thing anyway. In any case, YMfuoliver takes that game eventually. And we see the flare in MengWang's hand, but I mean, flare can be really good against Secret Paladin, and he could potentially be running into that here. But I don't think that having flare in this format is very good, because it's a 2 in 9 chance basically that you're gonna be running against a deck. Well, I guess 3 in 9. I guess Paladins are running. Paladins are running Secrets as well, and you can go against Hunters and Mages, but it's only like a 1 in 3 chance you're gonna run into something like that, and then it's almost like a Kaizen, right? You're probably gonna drop the other matches if you have it in your hand. It's like a dead card. We already saw Magicwin basically lose 2 matches because he had the flare in his hand. It was a completely dead card, and he couldn't use it until like he had used everything else in his hand, and that included playing out subpar cards just because they were better than flaring and doing nothing. Any case, we have the clear of the web spinner, and then the rogue taking out Sorry, the Hunter taking out the Earthring Farseer that comes out. And we have a Burgle. What is with all the Burgles and the Rogues these days? Oh my goodness. Okay. In any case, yeah, it looks like he's going to have to just Hunter's Mark that and take it out. Nothing else you can really do here. Could play the King of the Beast just to be annoying. And you actually might see that just because the Ramblingers so good. So yeah, we could just see a King of the Beast here into the Ram Wrangler, but MengWang does tend to play pretty slowly. So he might go for the Mad Scientist or something like that here. But nope, he's going to go for the King of the Beast. I definitely like this play better than anything else. It's a 2-6. It's not that strong, but I mean, it's really hard to kill. And it's not something you want to sap when you know you're playing against mid-range. You want to sap that high main. Like if you sap this now, then maybe your opponent just plays it again next turn, and how do you deal with it? Although we could, I mean, sap does fit into his curve, I suppose. He just Burgle sap right here. What does he get from the Burgle? It gets a Dire Doggy and a Lock and Load. Lock and Load is actually really good for Rogue. That's actually insane. So he went from burgling a couple Hunter cards to now he's gonna get Lock and Load and get even more Hunter cards. Oh my goodness. Alright, he is gonna sap it. Okay. So we're probably gonna see this played right back into the field by MengWang here. He's perfectly fine playing back into the field, but could kind of get wrecked by Lock and Load. What is this lock? This is actually so exciting. What is this Lock and Load going to do? Oh, Lock and Load into Backstab Eviscerates. Backstab Eviscerate. Oh wait, you see my face? He's like, you what? Are you serious? Backstab Eviscerate. Gets the Cobra Shot. What else does he get here? Onto another Lock and Load. What? No way. I don't think you play the Lock and Load here just for an extra. Yeah, you wait to go up again later. You're still at 30 health. You want to maximize the value of this, I think. You just hit the face and then you re-dagger up. I mean, I wouldn't. When would you ever Lock and Load here just for another card? Okay, actually, you might play the Dire Doggy onto the field, which makes sense. It's funny, like MengWang can actually see what cards came from what. He's like, wait, did that come off the Lock and Load or come off the Burgle? But it does say on the screen came off the Burgle. And he's wait, are we gonna see a Lock and Load into a sap? Probably not. Probably just a sap, just because you can't do anything else unless you find something else. Yeah, it's probably just gonna be Drake into sap here. Yeah, just Drake into sap and another Burgle. Oh my goodness, how many Hunter cards do you need for Oliver? When is enough? Okay, we do have the Knife Juggler double Unleash here, actually. He can't do it, obviously, because he's on 7 mana. But, yeah, these double saps have really hurt MengWang. He hasn't been able to get anything to stick. He might just play out this this high main again, but he doesn't know if it's going to get killed by something like, you know, like Eviscerate Flurry, or Eviscerate, Eviscerate, like, Fan and Knives or something. So, gonna go with the Night Juggler Unleash. Not gonna get too much value, I don't think. He could just play the Freezing here. Yeah, probably just gonna play the Freezing up. It's really annoying for this Zergic to be able to get anything done. Here, YMfuoliver, what do you do here? Obviously you want to get that, get a Fan Knives here, that'd be kind of nice. Maybe just Burgle into SI. Yeah, that'd probably be decent. You're a high enough light total. You don't really need to be super focused on clearing the board. Probably just go ahead and Burgle SI Dagger up here. I mean, I don't see Lock and Load doing a whole lot here. You basically Lock and Load into like Crowbar Shot or something, or Lock and Load into Burgle maybe, and then you hope to pick up a card. I don't think it's really worth. Just Burgle now, get some more, maybe some more spells in hand. You're gonna get some more spells from the from your deck as well. So I don't think it's time to Lock and Load. Just really maximize the damage. Oh, he's gonna test for Bear maybe? Oh, just kidding. Wait, what's he testing for? Snakes? If he tests for snakes, that's really bad. Alright, I guess the Quick Shot, that's really good for the Lock and Load in his hand. So obviously Cult Pet's not going to do much, but it is going to get a random Hunter card and draw a card from his deck. So still pretty okay. Still something you can play for cheap. I'd honestly rather have a Cult Pet in hand with a Lock and Load than the Cobra Shot. Also, I'd rather have my SI7 bounce back than my than my Azure Drake, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Alright, so we do finally see the Ramblangler manage to get something stuck on the field. What are we going to get? We're going to get a Kodo. I feel like I see so many Kodos come out of Ram Wranglers. It's kind of bizarre. Like, I've seen like a disproportionate number of Godzillas, Captain's Parrots, and Kodos. For some strange reason, those 3 cards. I don't know why. Alright, so there's actually a lot of pressure now onto YMfuoliver. He's at 20 health, but he's facing down 15 damage on the board, so probably wants to start getting rid of his opponent's board at the moment. Could go for something like Lock and Load into Quick Shot into maybe Cobra Shot. No, probably just Lock and Load into Quick Shot. Actually, what he could do is go Lock and Load Tinkers into Flurry. This is the problem I had with him, like, attacking last turn. I don't know really what he was testing for. Because Snake Chaps would have been kind of a disaster. I guess he just wanted to get rid of one of the doggies, but that doesn't really. I mean, what did the doggy actually accomplish? I mean, why was the doggy actually a threat to the board? You know, so he's gonna attack face and then quick shot the face. Oh, because he has lethal next turn. I see. Okay. Fine. I guess it's fine. I hate it though because that means he's not playing Lock and Load. Dang it. Alright, so I guess I missed the lethal there. I was too obsessed with the Lock and Load. I was thinking about all the possibilities. He could Lock and Load Quick Shot, Call Pets, but I guess if you have lethal, I guess winning the match is important. Anyway, so he's gonna take it. Gonna have the how much damage is that gonna be? 7, 14. Yeah, gonna have 14 damage this coming turn. And YMfuoliver's gonna take it. Unfortunately, not using the second Lock and Load, to my utmost dismay. And congratulations, YMfuoliver. Give me such a just the most dejected congratulations, the most begrudging congratulations. Didn't use the Lock and Load. Dang it. So sad. Anyway. Well, we did see Cobra Shot used well there in that match, which is a plus. But in any case, we're going to be seeing now MengWang's Rogue, which seems to be more standard, looking at these first few cards, against the Paladin of YMfuoliver. And what kind of Paladin are we going to see? I guess Rogue's a good choice to kind of see what Paladin is, because no matter what Paladin is, Rogue's probably favored, whereas if it's a non-secret Paladin, then the Hunter's probably going to have a hard time. So good thing to scout out this way. Gets rid of his Violet Teacher even though he's going second. I guess it kind of makes sense. Gets that Saucy Deckhand with the Prep. Prep is nice, but you don't want to be seeing Blade Flurry this early. That said, this is going to be a secret deck. We see the Divine Favor in hand. What was that secret play? I didn't really catch it. Alright, so we have the Haunted Creeper coming out. No real turn 3 play for YMfuoliver. You might see the coin SI just to deal with the first half of this. But you might be giving him competitive spirit value, but I mean that's just too next level, right? You hope for your opponent to SI7 your guy so you can get competitive spirit. But even if he gets competitive spirit, then the SI challenges both of them. So I think he's fine with this. Just gonna break this up right now. Could also be Repentance. I'm not really sure what it was. Okay, so we don't see the Repentance go off. And it's not competitive spirit either. Ooh, Abusive Sergeant's a good draw right now. So it's gonna be able to Abusive Sergeant and play out a dude. On the side of MengWang, ooh, that's a really timely Fan of Knives. Probably gonna immediately play that out. No real reason to save it. This is one of the best chances you're gonna get. If you see a bunch of guys on the board later, you can just Blade Flurry it, so it's fine. This Shredder is obviously an issue, particularly because you don't have a dagger set up, so you can't go Deadly Poison SI, which would have been amazing in this situation. But Also, you haven't actually checked for the get down yet, so that could be it. That could be what that is. In any case, we have the Divine Favor on the side of YMfuoliver, and MengWang might be wanting to think about that potential possibility because there's a lot of cards in his hand right now. Alright, is it the get down? Now he's like thinking about it. He's like, wait a second, it could be get down. He's like, wait a second, oops. So I'm probably going to attack face with this first. It is the get down, okay, so good idea from there. Good idea from there to think about that. And I'm going to take out this Shredder. It pops out. Okay, just a normal 3-2. It's not going to get any value from discard. Okay, so I'm going to play out more things on the board. Just get that Secret Keeper out there. And probably going to see a Flurry into an SI here. Almost certainly. Just already too much stuff on the board. And this does take two cards out of his hand as well. Yeah, perfect 3-2 kills that off. So now Rogue's in a pretty good lead. However, if he doesn't draw anything that he can play right here, this Divine Favor is just going to be an Arcane Intellect. I guess the Secret Keeper probably going to play that out. Yeah, it's almost certain. I mean, you have to, right? I mean, your Secret Keeper, you want to get one less card just because you don't play it now. Wouldn't make any sense, honestly. If he gets Double Secret, it's actually pretty good here. It turns into a 3-4. Picks up the Mysterious Challenger, that's nice. And has the Redemption in hand. I'm not sure if he has 2 redemptions. Probably wants to get the full value out of the Mysterious Challenger. If he doesn't have second redemption, he can just play it out of hand, obviously, because he's going to be coming up on 6 mana. Loathib, not going to do a whole lot of work other than deny that secret. And it might not even need to be played if he's playing double redemption. Looks like he's just going to go with the Dagger and to clear this off into play his Farseer. And oh, he's gonna heal his SI. This actually makes a lot of sense. The deck he's playing against is not really a rushdown deck. It's more of it really just controls the board early on with all his secrets, and then all of a sudden you get these guys that are like really hard to deal with. And he does actually play 2 redemptions, so he's gonna get the full value out of that. And this is gonna be tough for MengWang to deal with. How do you even attack? Because if you attack, he really wishes, honestly, he had something like Sap here to get rid of whatever gets buffed by the Avenge. He does have the Blood Mage, which can soak the Repentance. So yeah, the standard 5 secrets, obviously. This Defender's gonna come out, or Noble Defender, I mean, Noble Sacrifice. To get down. Something's gonna get avenged. Which one is it going to be? Probably wants the heal or the mini bot. Wait, does he want the mini bot? It goes to 4, which is kind of hard to deal with. In any case, obviously that guy's gonna come back. He's gonna get repented, and they're both gonna get bigger. Hold on, how much damage is that? If he kills that off, it's going to be 13 damage. So unless his opponent has like a Choose Over. Yeah, probably play with the Loathib here, just get more damage on the table. You have to take this chance right here. You can play I mean, you might be dead, but I think this is a good risk to take. So his opponent's not going to be able to play either that Consecration. I mean, he can play the Redemption this coming turn, but it's going to be most of his turn. Yeah, he might actually play the Redemption out here. You don't get to do it in Abusive Sergeant, but that's whatever. So, yeah. Looks like he's, what? He's a 1 damage off lethal. Yeah, that's right. So 13, 15, yeah. 1 damage off lethal, unfortunate. He might just go face here. He probably should go face. His opponent only has 3 cards in hand. Unlikely he has lethal. I mean, he does have, what? 12 damage on the board. But yeah, with 3 cards it's unlikely to happen. Probably just going to go with that. And then play the Redemption. MengWang's going to have to trade everything in. Hopefully he trades in the... oh, he's going to play a dude. Okay, that changes a lot of stuff, actually. Farseer is really good here. Double healing is nice, but he needs to clear off... Okay, he's going to go up to 12 health. Looks like he's going to throw away this Blood Mage first, but I don't... Why is that a good trade, though? Not really understanding the logic behind hitting the 7/6. Why would you hit the 7/6? What'd you trade? Oh, because he's gonna run the two guys in there. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, or he was thinking about that initially. Okay, so he's gonna do that. Run the 3-1 in there. Gonna heal bot. Gonna Farseer himself. Gonna run that guy in there, and probably the 3-1 or 3-3 into 2-1. Does he? He could actually heal his Farseer here. Otherwise, his board gets nearly cleared. Oh, he's gonna hero power it down. Interesting. Okay, this makes sense a little bit. Just wants to clear the board. He can Farseer next turn, and his board is big enough to deal with any board from his opponent usually. Okay, Consecrate into Knife Juggler, into Make a Dude, into try to snipe off this guy. And does he get it? Nope. Puts the Redemption up. And probably... It's actually kind of tough because... Well... Okay, well I didn't see the sprint, so he's going to sprint first, obviously. But if you throw the... Hold on. He could actually sap the Knife Juggler right now. Just to make sure that the get down doesn't kill his NT kill bot. Yeah, it makes a bit of sense. He doesn't want the get down, potential get down to... No, he's already gone through 2 get downs, so it can't be get down. Yeah, he's like just realizing that. He's like, wait a second, I've already gone through 2 get downs. Wait a second. So... Yeah, he can kill that, but then that's gonna spawn another Knife Juggler. I think he should be no, he's also thinking about Avenge, but haven't 2 Avenges gone down already? I'm not sure. Okay, he's gonna... Yeah, I think sapping this makes sense because of the Avenge possibility. Okay, so he's gonna do that and then sap it. Or he's gonna hit it. But now he's really low. So, top deck Consecrate kills him, or top deck 2 silver kills him. I'm not really sure I like that. I think I like his initial idea of sapping, although he might want to sap something else potentially. Like he can sap this Abuse or Argent Squire. Thing is, he has to like take 1 damage every single turn from his face because his opponent gets to make a guy every turn, and he can't really leave it on the field because it could get Abuse Sergeanted. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sap that guy because it's too hard to deal with. Probably hit these other 2 guys and then I don't know. Yeah, maybe hit these other 2 guys and re-dagger and then Deadly Poison. Oh, this game is super close. Looks like he's just gonna go for it. He could just go for it, I suppose, and just go face here. Yeah, he just has a dodge. 1 more. No, he's not. He's like 3 turns off lethal though. So I don't really. I mean, he's really indecisive here. And yeah, he needs to clear this board or else. Because he needs 3 turns is the thing. He's just gonna let it run out because he's just lost. What's the top deck here? Is it enough? Muster for Battle is really scary for MengWang to deal with. And, yeah, that's 5 dudes in the Argent Squire. He's going to need Fan, Knives, or Flurry right now. Off this Drake or off this next top deck. And even then, his opponent's 2 damage away from killing him. Is he going to draw it? Comes down to this. That's the Tinkers. It's not going to do it. I'm pretty sure, right? Gonna sap that. It's going to do nothing. And YMfuoliver is going to take this series 3-1, despite the missed lethal in the first game. Could have been 3-0, I suppose. Yeah, there's no way. Oh, he's going to... Okay, actually, never mind. He's actually still in it. He can eviscerate that guy. But I just don't see him... Well, okay, hold on. Never mind. Maybe... Hold on. So why didn't he just attack though? Because he needs to have lethal here. He should have just attacked. Unless he gets Flurry, but then if you get Flurry you can't proc your Tinkers anyway. Like if you Flurry If you got Flurry, you'd want to just Flurry and then Tinkers. That doesn't actually make any sense. So how many centers he has? 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. Wait, hold on. 10, 11, 12, 15 plus 6 is 21. He could have had lethal, actually. He could have had lethal if he attacked last turn. He actually, I was like counting him out, and he actually had a way to win. But he didn't attack for some weird reason. He's going to be 3 off, no matter what this hits. So I count him out, and he actually finds a way to, like, stay in the game. I guess he would have missed anyway. But maybe he was just... Maybe that's just because he would have missed anyway. I don't know. Wait. Yeah, he would have had lethal if that hit. If that hit 5 out of 7. Wow. Okay. He actually was still in the game, but then he screwed it up. Interesting. Like, he was in the game if he drew literally anything. Like, he didn't even need, he needed to like calculate lethal there. Like I guess he was thinking that I need to draw Blade Flurry or else I can't win, but he could have drawn literally anything in his deck and he would have won the game. If he had set it up correctly. Oh, 5 out of 7. Would have 5 out of 7'd it. But I guess it missed anyway in the end. So yeah, just repeating this in case people don't know, they have to use all 9 classes throughout the tournament, so it's not... Rogue isn't bad, guys. Or it's not that strong right now. I mean, it's still okay, I suppose, but there's no TGT cards in it, obviously. But yeah, it's they just have to use it. They have to use all 9 classes, so that's mostly the reason why we're seeing Rogue here. Alright, so we're off with a Rogue Mirror. Makes a bit of sense. Rogue is decent against all 3 classes. That's kind of like the strength of Rogue, right? Is that it's never really bad. It's never really that bad against everything. The risky run, it's kind of like Druid, right? The risky running putting Rogue out is that you might just get 0-3'd because it's like sometimes you might be like a 45% against 3 classes. But that's typically that's like kind of a unusual case. Usually you're about 50-50. Sometimes you're about 45, sometimes you're 55. But you run into something like Control Warrior and a Hanok or something, like it might be in a little trouble. But in any case, in this kind of situation, perfectly fine to throw the Rogue out. It's the most consistent. Like say you play the Paladin, they play Rogue, you're like crap, and you play Hunter, they play Rogue, you're like crap. So just put the Rogue out there, you'll be fine. In any case, look at these starting hands. As far as starting hands for Rogue, it's kind of hard, honestly, to look at their hand and say who's ahead, because it kind of depends on, like, Rogue is so reactive, right? So it kind of depends on what their opponent can do. If the opponent has, like, if one guy has minions and the other guy has removal, then it's kind of just balances out, right? Whereas if both guys have minions, I guess the side that has the better minions kind of wins out there. Dirtyhands is kind of making me angry here, roping, like, life coaching turn 1 here. I guess he's thinking about his future plays, but his future plays don't actually... I mean, he has nothing really to think about because he has no plays for the next 3 turns, right? He could coin, prep, sprint, but that's completely dependent on whether or not he gets, like, something like this, like a Shredder, right? So him, like, hovering over these cards and just, like, sitting there doing nothing is kind of making me mad right now. Another news, they are both Golden Rogues, so they've gotten those 500 wins in. So both probably pretty experienced with this class. And the class really hasn't changed much. It used to be a little bit different with the Miracle Rogue, but a lot of the core principles are the same. In any case, probably going to see the Shredder, yeah. Going to see the Shredder first, and then prep sprint the next turn. You want to put the Shredder out first to get some pressure on, but this is going to be pretty much wrecked by this Deadly Poison into backstab SI7, or just SS7 in this case. Took a little bit of risk there, took extra damage just so he can maybe potentially not have to use his backstab. He could have something like backstab SI and then taking less damage on his face, but Yeah, this is safer. You guarantee whatever comes out unless it's a Doomsayer, and yeah, it's just better this way. For the low cost of taking like a couple of one extra damage, one and a half extra damage on average, you guarantee that it's dead, and sometimes you don't have to use your backstab. So this is probably better. So yeah, this is the problem sometimes with putting the shredder out first though, because your opponent gets something to react to, and then they get the board advantage while you're prep sprinting. On the other hand, if you picked up Flurry, it would be kind of nice. You see the tech BGH into Dirtyhands is deck. It's not too unusual. Sometimes you need that BGH to be able to deal with certain decks. And it's not the worst thing to just play out onto the field if you don't have a BGH target. Sometimes when you're playing against you know, faster decks, you want to get that 3-drop guaranteed anyway, and playing a BGH is better than playing nothing, obviously. And sometimes as a rogue, you find yourself just playing nothing because you have all spells. This case, probably going to play out the Loatheb, I would say. You can't play the Azure Drake because you overdraw. Everything else is kind of garbage. I guess the other play is to go Violet Teacher into the Deadly Poison. But Deadly Poison is a really good way to activate the Tinkers, which would be pretty good the following turn. You would be taking 7 damage here. Well, your opponent might trade into it, but yeah, like this is kind of an interesting situation because Dirtyhands obviously has the card advantage and the card quality advantage, I would say, as well. But Mimi just has the tempo advantage right here, and this Darason's probably going to come down, but not going to be of that much value unless he picks something right here. Healbot, okay, discounting Healbot's actually kind of nice, I suppose. Is he actually going to flurry this? That would be kind of a waste in my opinion, honestly. You can just kill this on board. You can just backstab and hit with your face and leave a 1/1, and then play the Emperor. I see no reason to flurry at all. And you have, I mean, there's 3 more dagger activators left in your deck, so I don't see why you need a flurry. Okay, he's just gonna eviscerate, I suppose. I guess he's holding on to his Deadly Poison in case he needs to flurry something. I guess holding on to the Emperor Thorson is useful as well because you don't really have anything to discount at the moment, other than that Healbot. So I guess it's kind of okay. And this does put some pressure onto your opponent, I suppose. And if he tries to come back by kind of flooding the board and use flurry it makes a bit of sense, I suppose. From Dirtyhands, what do we have here? He can now play the Azure Drake because it won't make him overdraw. If he's feeling like he's in a little bit of trouble, he could play the Antique Healbot, but I think you kind of have to take a chance here. Although you are facing down to quite a bit of damage, so yeah. But if you're gonna play safe, you might as well just play the Loatheb instead of playing the Healbot. It's just a bigger minion, and it's kind of the same thing against Rogue, right? You're not gonna die. So I like this play. Let's play the Loatheb. Clear out this Azure Drake. Well, he could get greedy and hit the... No, because then you need to dagger Tinker's next turn, so that's not really worth. Probably just kill off the Azure Drake. Okay. I mean, obviously, he's not going to be able to use spells. Mimi, that is. So, I guess he is going to go for the greedy play and just Tinker's next turn. Pretty greedy, though, especially because your opponent could just kill you with Deadly Tinker's Flurry in a turn. And Mimi's doing the same thing he did in his first match, which is just like put his head in his hands and kind of like, I don't know, it's just bizarre. Okay, so now this Azure Drake is still on the field, and you're taking just as much damage from it as you would have if you just killed it and left the Forestier. So yeah, I don't know. Although maybe he deems it a better target to sap because it's hard to. I guess he has the Eviscerate anyway, but yeah, I suppose he took the same damage in the end. So in the end, doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. So he has the slight board advantage now. Oh, Big Game Hunter also taking the Mimi's deck. I guess maybe this is something that some Chinese player innovated and everyone's copying it, I suppose. In any case, going to see the kill onto the Healbot. Pretty standard stuff. You play the Thoris and you can't use the SI, and you kind of want to like clear your opponent's board as much as you can. Drake into Fan is okay here. Clears most of your opponent's board. You just have a way to clear your Drake back though. You could also clear the board by going Fan SI Dagger. But drawing cards is kind of important too, especially because you do want to. Oh, he's gonna do this. Okay, this makes a little more sense. You don't really need a Fan. Just especially if it's gonna be a 3/3 that trades with your Drake anyway. You might as well get your SI onto the field. So yeah, it's gonna go ahead and kill off that SI, and then by running his dude into it. And he now has that all-important Blade Flurry. He has used one prep though, so it's gonna be hard to get these Tinkers off. But if he can, then he has a lot of damage in his hand. Alright, sprint picked up here by Mimi. I'm gonna go ahead and sprint because he needs some answers playing. Oh, and also on top of that, he needs cards in his hand to be able to discount with Thorson. And Thorson, discounting a sprint with Thorson is pretty good as well. Let's say he's gonna go ahead and kill off this Azure Drake. And one of Dirtyhands is a little bit scared right now because of the fact that his opponent has so many cards now and has a minion on field. He has actually no way to deal with this. I like how the Tinkers is green, like you can use it. Like normally Deadly Poison wouldn't be green. Like you see the Blade Flurry is not highlighted right now. But if you play Tinkers, it actually does literally nothing because there's no combo. Anyway, he can sap, but sap just kind of feels bad. But it does set up his dagger, so that's something he could do. But yeah, sap just kind of ruins him for next turn, right? Because last turn Mimi drew cards and then played the Loatheb. This next turn he could play Loatheb and something else and really wreck him. So I think it's probably better to just play out this BGH. And yeah, I don't know about the sap. It feels like you kind of have to because you might die here, but. I mean, Loatheb Vile Teacher is going to really hurt him this coming turn. Yeah, just going to see him play out again. Maybe Loatheb Shredder? No, yeah, Loatheb Vile Teacher, because he doesn't have any Tinkers anyway right now. So yeah, this is why you don't. It feels like you need to sap, but you can't sap. You can never sap Loatheb as Rogue. Like it's worse to sap Loatheb than even Harrison Jones, honestly, because Harrison Jones. Sometimes he's too clunky to play back on the field, but Loatheb is never too clunky to play against Rogue because you just ruin their next turn. You absolutely demolish their next turn. And just completely lacking foresight, honestly, on the side of Dirtyhands. I suppose he can fan here and clear out the Loatheb, but it's still just really horrible. Yeah, I think that's probably his play. Either that or play the BGH, but that's what you were going to do last turn anyway. I think this is a complete lack of foresight, honestly, on Dirtyhands. Now he's going to sap the Violet Teacher and play the BGH, but you're in the same exact position as you were last turn. Why didn't you just play the BGH last turn? I don't understand. You could have played the BGH last turn and had so many options. I don't get it. All that said, Mimi does have a tough decision on his hand. This turn looks like he's just going to go with the Thorson into what? Into sap maybe? Maybe sap the BGH because it's something that you really can't play into the field. Yeah. Probably going to sap that out, yeah. It's just kind of like getting rid of 3 health from 3 mana from your opponent. Really can't play that back in the field, and now so many things are really discounting Mimi's hand, and he's really taking control of this board because of that Loatheb that he got a few turns ago. Dirtyhands, he can, let's see. He could, like, wait, he can't sprint, can he? He has too many cards. He would overdraw by 1 if he sprinted. Unless he played, like, a naked, or he played, like, a BGH or something, but that's way too dangerous to leave 11 to enter your point inside against a Rogue. With a discounted hand at that. We know that he's not going to die, but there's like no way you can do that in this situation, especially after he sapped the Loatheb. Doesn't make any sense. But probably going to see, I mean, I would say that you have to, yeah, just fan here, fan, and maybe, well, you could fan Tinker Flurry and then not take any damage. I think that's actually fine, because you have 2 Tinkers and 2 Flurries. I think that's actually fine, just to get rid of this board, because this is too scary, right? Oh, he's gonna SI? Oh, he's gonna fan... Okay, he's gonna fan SI Tinkers and clear off this Thorson. Makes sense. This is fine. I have no problem with this play at all. Because he clears off his opponent's board, and his opponent having a board is really important, right? Because that's what enables Tinkers as well. And at 14, you're pretty safe. Rogue's like magic number is basically 12 because they go Deadly Tinkers, hit your face flurry for 12. So yeah, the magic number is 12. 14 obviously can be done with a discounted hand with something like SI. I think we've seen both SIs though, if I remember correctly. In any case, we're going to see Teacher into Sprint, into... He might even have to backstab and flurry here, just to not take the 6 damage. Yeah, he's gonna do that. Makes sense. You have the 2 flurries in hand, and your opponent's pretty far down in health. And you have now the deadly double Tinkers and flurry in your hand, so looks like Mimi's taking control of this game. Well, Dirty Hands does have a way to clear the board right now. I guess what you could do, yeah, you could prep Sprint and then Tinker's Flurry. Well, you could prep Sprint and then get an SI and then Flurry. Oh, yeah, he's gonna, wait. Well, he could fan Flurry. Yeah, I don't think you want to use the Tinkers here. You don't want to use the Farseer. It's gonna be either Blood Mage Flurry or Fan Flurry, I'm pretty sure. They've kind of both accomplish the same thing, except actually, even though you don't draw the card immediately with Thalanos, it's kind of a threat. Like, it's something that you can combo with Tinkers. So I think you do play out this Thalanos, and you get to redagger. So yeah, this is probably better on every count. But is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. He's dead anyway. It doesn't matter. Yep. Gonna be able to dagger, deadly poison, Tinkers, and flurry. Is Mimi. And that's going to be it. I think this game was pretty well played on both sides, except for the one big mistake of sapping Lotheb. I think sapping Lotheb honestly cost Dirty Hands the game. But pretty interesting game one here, Rogue versus Rogue. Always good to see. You don't really see it that often. Pretty much only in this format when players have to play all 9 classes. So a pretty cool game to see, I would say. And well played by Mimi. Takes a 1-0 lead. Alright, we're waiting to see what the next game is going to be. Let's see. Dirty Hands obviously can pick everything. Mimi, what do you pick? Do you pick the Hunter? Depends on what kind of Hunter and what kind of Mage, obviously. But if he has Face Hunter, I would say go with that. Although, again, there's so many mages. I mean, it could be Tempo Mage, could be Mech Mage, could be Freeze Mage, could be like a mix of Tempo and Mech Mage, which you see sometimes. Alright, going to be the Hunter. I imagine it's going to be Face Hunter, if this is the case. If he's picking it. Alright, got the Secret Mage, or sorry, Secret Paladin. The Mysterious Challenger Paladin coming out of Dirty Hands. And maybe he has double Flare teched in. Flare has really hurt players before, but could be good in the situation for Mimi because he's facing 2 classes with secrets now. And there is the Flare. He probably kept it in his opening hand. Noble Sacrifice. Probably not going to see the Flare on this. Gonna wait until there's at least 2 secrets up because there's so many in this Paladin deck. It's pretty much a waste. Yeah, probably just gonna play out this. Oh, he's gonna play out the. Oh, that's gonna get completely wrecked. Huh. Maybe he's not gonna attack into it. Maybe he's like not intending to attack in with this Nat Juggler, and he's just gonna play the snakes and pass. If he plays the snakes here, I expect him to pass. Yeah. Okay. So this ends up being a lot better. Dirty Hands probably can read through this and just go face. I'm kind of surprised he decided to put down a guy first because if that were explosive, like it could be a bluff, right? Like he could be bluffing snakes and he plays explosive, and then his mini bot loses his shield. So pretty much a mistake, I would say, on the side of Dirty Hands. Now he's in it, he might actually go all in and play the abusive. Looks like he is gonna go all in. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this is one of the problems with having snakes in your deck, because your opponent can just completely ignore it, and Mimi can't actually attack or else this guy dies. So yeah. On the other hand, the double competitive spirit in the hand of Dirtyhands is really, really bad. Dirtyhands deciding whether he wants to get, whether he wants to do the super play or just get completely wrecked by he doesn't even attack either. Okay, this is interesting. This is like a standoff. Oh, like a random anime in the hand of Mimi. Okay, so we could actually see the flare here. It could be a possibility, just because these two secrets are super annoying. But instead, going to be the mad scientist, and okay, competitive spirit comes out. Let's see if Dirtyhands commits more to the board to be able to. Well, he's probably going to attack face first, right? Probably attack face first with the. Well. Okay, where does Snipes land, I guess? Oh, snipes the juggler off. And now he's going to go face. This ordering is so bizarre. This ordering is really bizarre. I mean, wouldn't you, if you're gonna do this, wouldn't you attack face first with a mini bot? The only way this makes sense, the only way this ordering makes sense is if he doesn't attack at all. That's the only way that this ordering makes any sense. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it first. You would attack face first with the mini bot. I guess it might be bear trap. I guess it could have been bear trap, so he wants to have a maximum chance of. Okay. This makes a little bit of sense. I guess he wants to get the secret out first, and then, or wanted to get the knife off first and then do that. That's kind of okay. Anyway, yeah, he picks up the freezing trap. I wonder if he has any more traps in his deck. Might not be the case. He's actually gonna try to attack in with this mad scientist. I say you just flare this. I mean, we're 2 turns off of him having. Okay, he doesn't even get to the attack with the mad scientist. Maybe it's explosive though. If it's explosive, okay, the freezing trap is still available, so I think it could be explosive. So therefore, actually, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. This is so bizarre. Now he's gonna get compare spirit on all these guys. Like, I feel like you really need to just not worry about the mysterious challenger and flare when your opponent is ruining you with his secrets. Like, these secrets right now are just ruining Mimi right now, and he's like, you can tell he's waiting for the mysterious challenger to come up, but it's really not a good idea. I mean, I think this just shows his inexperience with the deck, like as far as playing the deck. Okay, that's gonna be explosive. Ooh, explosive is huge here actually. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was a big explosive. Oh my god. Well then. I guess that just happened. Okay, never mind, take it back, Mimi, you're a god. Well played. Jeez. Just make your opponent overcommit to the board. And then explosive it all. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, too good. He is gonna get 11 damage on the face though, so there is that. I mean, he's still probably gonna lose this, it looks like. But anyway, what I was talking about before is that if you've played the Mysterious Challenger Paladin before, you can win a lot of games without ever getting the Mysterious Challenger, because the secrets actually are pretty annoying, and you get a lot of tempo on your opponent by playing those secrets and just playing your minions, because it's just annoying, right? And normally that doesn't work if you don't have the Mysterious Challenger, because, or like in the olden days, right? You can't really play a Secret Paladin before then, but now it kind of works because of things like Avenge and the Competitive Spirit. It's really, really annoying for your opponent to deal with. And also some of the cards have been introduced since then. So, I mean, I think you just underestimated the power of the Paladin secrets, even without the Mysterious Challenger, and didn't really play to that. He could have just flared everything away and made everything so much easier on himself, but played he wanted to get the super combo off, wanted to like flare out 5 secrets, and in the end that flare stuck in his hand. And this deck that's probably supposed to counter something like this deck, it's probably supposed to counter this Paladin Secrets deck, it's just going to fall flat and die. So, yep, lesson learned, and that flare is so sad right now. GG, Dirtyhands takes it. This is the interesting about TGT, by the way. A lot of the pros are being able to experiment with every deck out there, and they're really gaining knowledge about each and every deck, right? So they kind of have a leg up on some of the people that are trying to catch up, especially when something kind of crazy like this comes out. Like, for instance, Grim Patient Warrior. It took so long to not only get optimized, but for people to play it optimally, right? It took several months, actually. And pros were actually at the forefront and really had an advantage over everyone else, especially because not only did people not know how to play it optimally, but since they didn't know how to play it optimally, they didn't know how to counter it optimally. So this is kind of the same situation, except with a bunch of decks, right? We have the Secret Paladin, the Token Paladin, then we have a lot of these dragon decks, and it just goes. I mean, you really just need to have that experience in order to be able to counter it. And I mean, you can totally tell that Mimi had really no experience playing the Secret Paladin deck, because obviously he would have known that. All right, sorry about the disconnect. Hopefully, it's up again. I blame it on OBS. OBS randomly just like made a sound and boop, and wasn't working. So it looks like we're back. I was just busy talking about how Mimi obviously wasn't respecting the secrets of the Paladin enough, want to get all those secrets off with one go. But you underestimate secrets and you get punished. In any case, we're going to see Mimi's Hunter now go against Dirtyhands' Rogue. And typically Rogue has the advantage in this matchup, going against the mid-range Hunter, because you have basically stabbing against the high main is the biggest thing, because usually high main is one of the most difficult things for any class to deal with, and usually don't see Shaman, like even these days with the Token Shaman, you don't see it that much. Mid-range Hunter, because you have basically stabbing against the high main is the biggest thing, because usually high main is one of the most difficult things for any class to deal with, and usually don't see Shaman, like even these days with the Token Shaman, you don't see it that much, and same thing, you don't see Polymorph and Rogue too much. So the next best thing, or maybe even better, is Sap from the Rogue. Basically get rid of 6 mana by using 2 mana, and it's just a huge tempo swing. So yeah, that's why the Rogue is favored. In any case, Dirtyhands wondering what to do here. He could clear the board by smacking himself into the Knife Juggler and fanning. What he's wondering though is whether he should proc the Snake Trap before he uses his fan. So it's making this turn kind of annoyingly hard to figure out. If he wanted to, he could take a ton of damage and hit this this Mad Scientist, and then re-dagger, and then hit the Knife Juggler the turn afterward, and then make sure that he gets off the fan on the snakes. But looks like he's just gonna go for the tempo play of prep fan, kill the Knife Juggler. He goes for killing Knife Juggler first because he doesn't want to proc the snakes. Or he hits the Knife Juggler first so he can kill them both at the same time, so he doesn't proc the snakes later on and take the extra damage. Goes ahead and goes for that, and plays the Earth Ring Farce here. Smartly goes to face here. Explosive is not really a big deal. Freezing is like whatever. Freezing happens regardless, right? Bear Trap, it's like not the worst. Freezing and well, I guess Bear Trap and Snake Trap are similar, but he saw Snake Trap last game. He didn't see Bear Trap, so most likely going to be Snake Trap. That said, there are now 2 Shredders on the field, so it's going to be kind of hard for Dirtyhands to deal with the situation. He could go double SI, like coin SI, which could be a thing, but then you're committing to clearing these guys out. Which means you have to attack into them, so probably going to wait and just go ahead and go maybe Dagger Thalnos Flurry, attack into one of the Shredders, and then Thalnos Flurry for 3. But the Drake does get taken out here. Mimi's the first one to blink and has to start trading because there's too much damage in the field. He's actually maybe looking for a beast. Yeah, I think he's looking for a beast there to go with his Houndmaster. Alright, but in any case, he's gonna play out this freezing trap to make sure that this Shredder gets. And he's playing the explosive trap too. I don't really understand the reasoning for the explosive trap. I guess it's just 2 damage right now, and I guess it's not really useful against Rogue anyway. But I feel like you could bluff the freezing trap later instead of playing it right now. I mean, obviously Dirtyhands doesn't know your entire deck, but yeah. I don't know. I think you go. Well, okay, hold on. Yeah, maybe you just healbot here, and then put the onus on your opponent to kill the healbot. There's no good way to kill the healbot right now on the field. He'd have to use some sort of removal, or throw both of his guys into that. So I think this is actually fine. This way he's just threatening his he's threatening getting his healbot frozen back. So I think it's fine. Just going ahead and passing here. Alright, so this is gonna bait out some of these hounds to kill off this healbot. Gonna attack. Oh, he's gonna attack face. That's bizarre. Oh, no, just kidding. Okay, he values the 3/3 over the 2/2 and 1/1. Makes sense, especially with the possibility of Blade Flurry. Which we're probably going to see right now. Dagger, Coin, Coin, Tinker's Flurry. Actually, does he need to... He could go Thalnos Flurry. No, because he can't do the SI afterward. Yeah, you're just going to waste the buff on the Tinkers, unfortunately. Just run your guy in and get him frozen back. And then Tinker's Flurry. Mimi is a little bit distressed there on the top left. But, yeah, gonna have to be this, unfortunately. Despite the nice setup and getting your guy buffed, just gonna have to go for it. I guess what he could do is run his face into it. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna run his face into it. He's really valuing this, the 7/3 as a threat. And he can go Thalnos, SI next turn and then get one of those bounce back and just get the 7 damage in. So this makes a bit of sense, yeah. This makes some sense. Just keep your 7/3 on the field. Don't attack in with it. You definitely don't attack now, because you should have just attacked before, not taking the extra damage. We're going to do that. But, yeah, this makes a bit of sense. King's Elect coming in hand, which is going to be nice for this Ram Wrangler. And we have a Joust here, and wins the Joust. Gets the Hyman. That's actually pretty huge, although we do have the Sap in hand. So, is he going to just play it out right now, or is he going to go for the Ram Wrangler? Probably go for a Ram Wrangler, because you know that your guys are really fragile. Like, if he goes for the Hyman now, he's going to get super wrecked. Okay, Ram Wrangler, what are we going to get? We get a Web Spinner. Alright, not much value there, unfortunately. And, yeah, probably just Thalnos, Fan, and SI. It's a pretty good way to clear the board. Feels pretty good, man, if you're Dirtyhands. Doesn't feel so good if you're Mimi. And then just, yeah, pass the turn. Goes back to Mimi. Mimi's only real play is the high main. That's immediately going to get sapped. And, yeah, not a very good position for Mimi whatsoever. Actually, I wonder what Dirtyhands is going to get. Or, okay, we see actually the kill command onto this Shredder. Just because 7 damage turns out to a lot. Oh, that just happened. Probably want to freeze back this this Wild Power Master, actually. I'm pretty sure the freezing trap was played before the explosive trap, which is a bit of a mistake, because if ever a situation comes up like this, you want the guy you want the guy to die first. If ever there's something small like this, like it didn't make any difference with the Shredder, but because it's gonna get frozen back anyway. But in this case, you want the guy to die first. And good targeting by Dirtyhands. He knows it's not snakes, and he doesn't want his guy to die and then Yeah, he doesn't want his guy to die and then not proc it, because then he'd have to proc it with his SI, and then he loses this SI obviously. So good targeting there by Dirtyhands. And wait, is this lethal? Wait a second. Wait, it can't be lethal, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't have sapped. Wait, is it lethal? No, it's not lethal. Just kidding. Anyway, it's close enough to lethal that this game is pretty much over. Mimi's gonna need some sort. I mean, he can't win. He would need a taunt, but that's just gonna get sapped away. He's gonna concede, and it's going to be 2-1 in the favor of Dirtyhands. All right, so Dirtyhands has his hunter left. We haven't seen his hunter yet. If it is face hunter, then he's in good shape because obviously Mimi's hunter is of the mid-range variety. By the way, hunter really falling flat today. We saw Magic Wind earlier lose pretty much because his hunter got 3-0'd. Alright, so it is going to be mid-range versus mid-range. But yeah, Magic Wind's hunter was face hunter, so it's like, what do you do, right? Do you play mid-range? Do you play face? Does hybrid work anymore? Kind of hard to tell. Dr. Boom on the side of Mimi. Not so great, but he does have that mad scientist to tide him over. Dirtyhands really wants to draw a 2-drop coming up. But he's doing that thing again where he's hovering over his cards as if he has a play. But we all know, so does Mimi, that if you had to draw 1-drop, there's no way you'd ever not play a 1-drop here. I guess it could be tracking. Maybe he could have track in his hand, but even then, you probably use it here. Just because you never, I mean, this matchup is so cutthroat, you need every single last bit of mana. Alright, so the coin scientist comes out for the tempo play, and Dirtyhands has nothing. Absolutely nothing to do. He's going to hover over his hand again like he has something to do, but we all know, and again Mimi knows as well, that if you had something to do, you'd play it out right now. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it was a Haunted Creeper that gets killed by the scientist, you would still do that. Even if it was a Knife Juggler and you had an Unleash in hand, you'd still do that because this is just a horrible spot. Especially if your opponent plays... I mean, probably going to go with these snakes here because he has the Animal Companion into the Houndmaster. I'm not going to have time to play that later, most likely. Okay, now, oh, that web spinner a bit late. Gonna play with this Animal Companion, hopefully it's not Huffer. It is Huffer. And he's gonna go face and realizes that it's now a Snake Trap. Mimi gets a free, oh, he's gonna face tank it? What? Why didn't he just play the Animal Companion? I don't understand. This is what people do a lot. They attack face, and it's like not guaranteed that he's gonna attack. Like, okay, Dirtyhands gets the Huffer here, but it's not like guaranteed that he's gonna attack. So, I mean, I would just sit here if I were Dirtyhands. It feels bad, but why? I mean, it's gonna get frozen back, and you're gonna give your opponent a bow charge. So, just play out your web spinner and pass, and force him to attack into it or something. Yep, this is the right play by Dirtyhands, and this is why it makes no sense for Mimi to have just attacked face here, because he could have held onto the bow. There's not going to be any Ooze or Harrison Jones in Hunter. I mean, it happens very, very occasionally, but usually not that often. And now he can't even kill off this Huffer. Or the web spinner for that matter. Like, he can't, he's not going to get the extra charges from his bow because he assumed that that his opponent was going to attack into him, but now that's not going to happen. Alright, so for Dirtyhands here, what do? It's really tough, obviously. I think you probably just go the Houndmaster onto the Huffer and kind of force the Elec into it. If you go onto the, or not Elec, force the, wait, what? Yeah. Do it on the Huffer, because if you do it onto the web spinner, the Elec can just trade into it, and then Mimi still has all of his bow charges. You see Mimi kind of looking kind of stressed here. I mean, I just really don't like... Oh, he's going to actually give him the charge. Okay. This makes sense too as well. So Mimi finally did get all of his charges off, but he is at 18. So, but yeah, I don't really like what he's done so far. I mean, he could have easily gone Animal Companion. Like he could have traded his Mad Scientist and the Huffer, gone Animal Companion into Houndmaster, and he wouldn't have been in this position. I just think it's really bizarre, honestly. Anyway, gets the Misha, gonna be able to trade into this Houndmaster. Despite all this nonsense, he's still probably ahead. He's down to 14, but he has massive board control, and he has his choice of Houndmaster or Highmane next turn. On the side of Dirty Hands, really is not much he can do. He can't even Web Spinner Houndmaster. He can Freezing Trap, but doesn't do much. Probably has to just play out this Highmane. Yeah, this Highmane is probably the best way to go. He can Highmane next turn. He can, at least from his point of view, he can kill command the Misha and then go face. He's probably dead anyway though, because Mimi can just taunt whatever. Like if he plays the Highmane coming up, then he can taunt that afterward, and then Dirty Hands can't get past it, and then he's gonna have his opponent at. Actually, he would have his opponent at 5, so maybe if he top decks I'm looking like 3 turns ahead, but I'm just saying, like, if he goes Highmane here, and then Mimi goes Highmane, and then hits face, and then Dirty Hands kill commands and goes face, or kill commands and bows face. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard. So, yeah, probably going to see that. Probably kill command and bow face. Well, he could kill command and... No, he can't double freezing, obviously, so... No, he's going to kill command and he's going to... Houndmaster face? Yeah, probably kill command Houndmaster face is the more likely approach, I believe. You can't double freezing. But yeah, I was gonna say, so right now he's facing down what 12 damage. So if his opponent has anything, he's dead. So he's gonna get him down to looks like 6. He could have gone down to 5 and made him dead to like a quick shot or something. But yeah, probably Mimi's gonna go ahead and yeah, probably unleash and then kill off the first half of this Highmane, and then Houndmaster kill off the first half with his Highmane and one of the doggies, and then Houndmaster his Web Spinner and go face. And I hope his opponent doesn't have a way to get past this stuff. Oh, he's gonna do that? Wait, what? Okay, never mind everything I just said. Like, apparently that's totally different. Okay. Well, that was weird. Okay, well I guess that's okay too. I guess getting rid of the Houndmaster I guess is a big deal because it would have been an easy way to get past the Web Spinner, and he does get more hounds out of this as well. Dirty Hands whether or not he should let these snakes go, but probably worth it to get this 4 damage off the field. Let's see, if he kills this guy off and spawns the snakes, it's going to spawn 2 snakes, which means it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He is dead on the field, except he can play a freezing trap and a bear trap, actually. So, unless his opponent has... Yeah, I would go for bear trap and freezing trap, and not hero power. I guess, well, it's so hard not to hero power this situation. No, wait, he has to... Yeah, so... hit face, and then freezing and bear, and it's really hard for your opponent to get past that. And oh, he's gonna hero power and bear. I guess hero power bear is more defense than the freezing. But what does he pick up? He picks up the Ram Wrangler. Oh my god, oh, it's a Ram Wrangler. This could make the game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, trade in your guys and make a Ram Wrangler. Let's do this. Let's do this. Trade in your Spectral Spider. Are we gonna... This is his only chance. Right? He has no way to get past this, right? Yeah. Trade in your guy, play the Ram Wrangler. I don't understand why that... Because you could have gotten Leok, right? Anyway, whatever. I guess you can't get Leok. Oh, it's a Cobra. That's not going to be enough. And Dirtyhands is going to take it. All came down to the Ram Wrangler. Needed that, the Rhino, at least. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, sorry. Alright, Dirtyhands takes it. And honestly, I think maybe could have taken that game if he played a little bit